In this episode of Restore It, I finished restoring everything from the M40 B16 engine that was taken from the Red Touring. Mainly the intake manifold, which is having new and updated injectors fitted. As you can see, it's pretty dirty and corroded, just like this fan clutch, which will be replaced with a new one. I've gone ahead and ordered a new water pump, but it didn't arrive in time for this episode. This is an engine block taken from another B16 engine that has covered only 135,000 miles, literally half the distance of the original. This engine only needs the standard hone and skim, instead of a full reborn, new pistons, new everything. That old engine was pretty bad. And all of this for just £50. A perfect camshaft, a perfect head, everything is in way better condition compared to the original engine. It does need a good soak in proper chemical cleaner and a paint job, but I think it will come up nice and last way longer than the old one. So first things first, everything needs to be dismantled completely. And finally, with the throttle body apart, everything was dismantled and ready to be restored. Before we do that, I just have a quick word from a company that helps me greatly with these restorations. This is a factory style workshop repair manual for older cars like these E30s. This is exactly what technicians use at dealerships when they carry out work on customers' cars. They contain step-by-step instructions with pictures and torque specs covering everything you need to know about that particular vehicle. These manuals will show you how to do practically any job you can think of, whilst telling you if you need any special tools or equipment. And what's great about eManual Online is that you can get a manual for almost any car in existence. So check it out in the video description. These things are usually around $20, but I'm going to leave a discount code down there for 30% off your entire order. You can download all of your manuals onto any computer and have it for the rest of your life. It's invaluable information that can save you a ton of money and give you the knowledge and confidence to do jobs like this at home. Big thanks to eManual Online for sponsoring this episode and helping people like you and me to better understand our cars. Let's get back to this engine restoration. So this is everything laid out. A few bits like the TPS and the FPR are going to be replaced with new ones, as I can only imagine how many miles they've been attached to this car. To begin with, the main bits of the manifold were washed in non-caustic degreaser. It was then quickly onto shot blasting after a thorough drying with a heat gun. With everything now blasted, I wanted to polish the mating surfaces before I masked them for paint. To do that, I have to first remove the studs by locking two nuts together and then winding the bottom one up. With that done, I could then mask up for painting. Two coats of Etch primer, high build primer, base coat and clear coat were then added. Whilst I was painting that, James removed the old plating and corrosion from all of the hardware, as well as the fan and the throttle body. They were all then replated with fresh zinc and finished in either gold or blue passivate. Moving on to the injectors, which I mentioned earlier, I just want to give a big thanks to Sergio from Bavarian Werke for hooking me up with the latest and greatest injectors that fit into this manifold. Adding these alone changes the feel of the engine completely. They just run so much smoother with the newer technology. If you're interested in getting the latest and greatest injectors for your old car, click the link in the video description. Once the paint was dry, I could then very satisfyingly remove the masking tape. I wasn't sure if this fan clutch would still work or not, so I replaced it with a new one just to be on the safe side. The throttle body gasket is one I thought I had in stock, but found out at the last minute that I didn't, so I decided to make my own using this very handy gasket paper. Two coats of matte black from a spray can were then added to the fuel rail to keep it looking factory. And there we have it, that's everything restored and laid out just like before. All that was left to do was to rebuild everything. And there we have it, back together, ready for the big rebuild. I'm waiting for new fuel lines before I fit these, which didn't arrive in time, but will be here before the last episode. There's going to be one more episode before the final episode, which is going to be the machine shop work on the block and the head. Once that's done and ready to go, there'll be one more episode of me rebuilding absolutely everything. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.